Welcome to Cobb's Cube. As you saw in the intro, Portabella Caprese. I have a special friend that really likes Portabellas, and I've been wanting to do something for her. So I had to wait and get that perfect balsamic vinegar syrup consistency and work with the butter sauce until I got the thickness that I wanted. And then I went and I made this recipe. And while it's a little different than most things we do on this channel, since October I've done this 4 times and it has been outstanding. So I thought, let's go ahead and put it on the channel. So let's fire up your grills, let's get outside, and let's make a Portabella Caprese. For the first thing we want to do is go ahead and open up the Portabellas, and I want to remove the gills. I like to do this first so I can set them aside and just let them dry out a little bit. They tend to get a little wet sitting in this. We also want to remove the stem. You use a knife or just pull with your hands, whichever is the easiest. Toss that away, let the animals eat them. Do the same on this one. Just take that, carefully pop that, and then go ahead and remove the gills and get this trimmed up. Okay, we're gonna dress the edges up a little bit. Just simply take a knife and go around the outside edges. So you get there, throw that away for the squirrels, and take a spoon, and we're just gonna pull the gills out. A lot of times there's a little dirt left over, and this just kind of helps clean up the Portabella and improves the flavor, in my opinion. We'll set this aside. We'll let these dry out a little bit as we get the other ingredients ready. So we're going to cut up a little bit of the tomatoes, just slice them in half, set them aside. And we're going to do the same. I got some pearl mozzarella. I'm just going to cut them in half. It helps them to melt a little bit easier when they're a little bit smaller. Okay, now that we got our tomatoes and cheese ready, we'll set this aside. We're gonna start getting our balsamic vinegar syrup ready. All right, so our balsamic vinegar syrup, we're gonna add 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar, and we're gonna put in 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. And basically we're gonna stir this until it is reduced by roughly half, because I wanna see it get nice and thick like a syrup. So this takes a while, so that's why I do this first, while the egg is heating up, and we'll just continue to cook this down, and then we're going to set it aside. Again, this is a really good thing to do while you're heating up your egg. And there we go. We're looking good. We're going to set this aside now, and we're going to clean this pot out, and then we're going to make our butter garlic sauce. Okay, to make our butter sauce, we're going to use a 1/4 tablespoon of butter with 3 cloves of garlic. Now to do this, I like to add a little bit of water first to the pan. And the reason I like to do that is that when the butter and the fat separate, this will help them come back together. And as they come back together, it'll create a thicker butter sauce, and it sticks better when you put it on crab, when you put it on Portabellas, etc. Just adding that little bit of water really makes this nice thick sauce to be able to paint onto things or to use as a dip for crab, etc. Just heat this up a little bit more until it's thickened a tad, and then it'll be ready to paint onto the Portabellas. Perfect, that's ready. All right, with the egg rolling at 400 degrees and the plate setter in, we're gonna put the mushrooms upside down initially. We're gonna let them go for about 8 minutes, and these are thicker, so I might even go 9. I'll take a look at them. I'm gonna go ahead and brush this butter garlic sauce right on the top of them. And we'll come back in about 8 minutes. We're gonna flip them, and we're gonna do the same thing. By the way, huge shout out to one of my co-workers, Steve Davis. He does a lot of woodwork, and he donates time and materials every year to charities for the company. You buy something from him, and he donates everything plus the money that you purchased the item with, and he made me this amazing cutting board. So thanks, Steve Davis. This is beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and flip these. Put some more butter garlic on the top of them, and just let this cook in. Again, I'm going to let this go for about 6 minutes, and then we're going to come back in and put our topping, because these are thick and I want to make sure that they cook all the way through and they're nice and soft. Okay, it's been 6 minutes. We're going to go ahead and just slightly move them. Still have some good juice and water. That's all the water coming out. We're gonna drip that off for now. We're gonna put a little more butter on there. And then we're gonna add our tomatoes in any form or fashion you want. Then we'll put our cheese on there. We're gonna save our basil to the very end, because I do believe you eat with your eyes. And I think the basil looks much better when it is fresh than it does when it's cooked. That's just a personal preference. Do what works for you. Okay, and we'll add some cheese in here. And the cheese is gonna melt, so you can get as much as you want on here initially. Okay, something like that. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. We're gonna let this go for about 4 minutes, and then we'll put the basil on, let it go for a minute, and then we're gonna get our balsamic vinegar on. All right, so we went an additional 6 minutes on this because the cheese wasn't quite melted yet, but now we're at the point we're gonna go ahead and add the basil. It's looking good. And again, just make it look pretty. And then our sauce is thickened up really nice. So we're just gonna go ahead and put some of the sauce on here. Want that consistency of syrup. And we'll let that sit for 1 minute. Okay, at this point they are ready. Take them out. Oh man, these look fantastic. These look fantastic. I think my friend is really going to enjoy this meal. So again, here we go with Portabella Caprese. So let's dive in and see how this came out. Okay. You can taste that garlic butter. You can definitely taste the garlic butter. It's so nice. That balsamic syrup that we made really brings out just this zest flavor. It's excellent. It's absolutely excellent. I'm going to be very happy serving this. So it's a little different than what we normally do out here, but it's very meaty. It's got an excellent flavor. I'd highly recommend giving this a shot. If you like portobello mushrooms, this is a great way to do them. And really thank you for taking the time today to come out and watch what we're doing. I hope you take a moment and like and subscribe, and have a blessed day.